Trustee Geezer.
Here.
Trustee Frusalone. Trustee Schwarzy. Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There a motion to approve the minutes of our October 19, 2020 Village Board meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Zalick. Tia, call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
There a motion to approve the minutes of our October 19, 2020 special workshop meeting?
Moved. Second.
Moved by trustee Geezer, seconded by trustee LaRocca. Tia, call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Under listening posts, I will now turn this over to trustee Geezer for the Halloween decorating winners.
Thank you
Trustee Geezer,
very
it's all
much.
yours.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Another successful Halloween decorating contest. I'll take this down. And we had 3 winning families. 2 of the winning families are here today, and so we would like to honor them today. So I will introduce you, and I'll have you guys come up and have you say a word or two. 3 of the families are here now. Have you guys say a word or two about what you did and why you did it, and then we'll take a group picture if we could, if everyone's comfortable with that. So the first winner we're going to recognize today are the Nemesek family. They are the family fun winners. They live at 639 Kingsbridge Drive. Come on up, guys. See some shorties there that I know were very important in the, so the microphone's right up there, right there. So tell us what you guys did.
Well, first of all, we wanted to thank Carol Stream for even hosting an activity like this. I thought it was great that year after year, you guys go ahead and do this, and it's really great to see all the community get together and celebrate, you know, the holiday and things like that. Some fantastic candidates in it, and we were very honored to win. But this year we went ahead, we did a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, these 2. And the lovely wife went ahead and helped.
I helped put it up.
Well done.
We,
Helped a little bit beyond.
we started all the way back in February, and then oddly enough, with quarantining and everything, it worked out great because it gave me a bunch of time to go ahead and work on it. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed it, and thank you guys again for letting us win. Yeah, the record.
Let me give you your certificate.
Tia's going to take your
What
picture.
do you want to do, or just do a whole group? We'll just do a whole group. How about that? Here, why don't we give you that?
Thank you.
Okay, why don't you guys sit down for now, and then we'll bring you guys all back.
Sit back down.
The next award is the Big Pumpkin Award, and that goes to 940 Birch Bark Trail, and that is the Zwybrook family. And they're here, come on up. And they won this about 4 years ago in a different category. Why don't you come on up and tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Arm wrestle.
So I wasn't expecting this because last Tuesday I was driving home from work, approaching my house, and all of a sudden I see this construction horse in front, and I'm like, really, they're gonna break ground several days before Halloween? Then I got close and I'm like, duh. Well, so, you know, thanks whoever nominated me. Thank you to the judges who voted for me. Thanks to people that stop. If I'm outside setting up, checking on things during the week, tearing down, they stop their cars, they say something. People, you know, walking their dogs or just going, you know, going for a walk. They'll, you know, just stop and thank me. So,
Well, the day I drove by and you guys were out
Exactly,
working,
you
it's
were-
like you were supervising, you were doing all the work.
well, yeah, Rick came by to get us to sign his petition to, run for trustee again. And it's funny because one of the ladies that walked by a lot with her dog says to Rick, he needs to win. And I said to Rick, I said, I don't do this to win awards. I just do this because I like the reaction of the people. And people don't necessarily know me, but they do know that house. So
They do
I
it.
just keep doing it. And it is, I call it a themed Halloween. It's just doing something different every year. It's not really traditional per se, but people seem to like it, so I keep doing it.
Well, it have Godzilla up there, so that's.
Yeah, that was new this year.
It was awesome, guys. Great job.
Thanks.
Come up in just a moment. Then our final, the judge's favorite award goes to the Engstrom family. Vince and Jenny are here. They live at 832 Pawnee Drive. Vince, Jenny?
Thank you for the village for supporting this every year. I think it's fun, and it really does build a lot of community engagement. We did our traditional cemetery again this year, and we just keep doing it because I get to make kids squeal every year. Not too many tears, but a good spook and a jump, and it makes me giggle, and I love having the kids run by month of September looking to see if I'm setting up yet. Every year they come running through the yard, so that's why we keep doing it, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you again from the village.
And Jenny, you're all with us now? You're loving participating?
Yes, I participated a little more this year and helped out.
She let the secret out, so I bought my Mustang, and the Mustang had to go in the garage. And I
Put it in
said,
my garage.
well, maybe. So I said, the Halloween stuff might have to go. We might need a new hobby. And she says, wait, we can't stop doing it. So now what I know is I have free reign to do as much as I want for Halloween, and she's actually on board.
All right,
done there, Jenny.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here is your certificate. Thank you. Should we have them just stand?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that'd be
front.
good.
All the winning families, why don't we have you guys stand up socially distant possible? How's this, Tia?
That works. Just gonna move this out of the way a little bit.
Is everybody smiling?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great job, all of you.
I do need to also thank the actual judges. I did not judge any of the houses. The judges were Jim Slanker, Joe Kozlowski, and Linda Keen, so thank you to them for their service. And moms and dads, families, don't forget, coming up in December, we will have our holiday decorating contest again. So I'll start thinking of the themes you'd like to do to decorate your house, and we'll be announcing the dates and the deadlines shortly on the village's Facebook page. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. All the entries. We had 36 entries this year, a record number. So thanks to everyone who participated. Thanks to the board and the mayor and the staff for your assistance and support. And onward. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rick, for taking it and running with it. We really thought about even canceling Halloween, to be honest with you. And as the staff and the board got together and we talked about it, this has been a year where we canceled everything all the way to Christmas already, and we thought this would be something that would be outdoors. People would be able to decorate their lawn, people would be able to walk by, kids would be able to come up to your house and be able to get candy if you so pleased. If you didn't please, Tia put a lot of work in it with the website stuff for signs to stop, go, lights on, lights off. I mean, we did a lot of things, and I, thank God, everything worked out good. Everybody went home safe. The kids are all happy. We went through a lot of candy, and then we got to get this, and I appreciate Trustee Geezer doing this again this year, and everybody that did the judging. So thank you. Next on the agenda, we have a representative from the village's auditing firm, Sikich, will present the comprehensive annual financial report and management letter for the year ended April 30, 2020, in accordance with the Public Act 098-0738, which became effective January 1st, 2015. These documents will also be posted to our village website at carolstream.org.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you all. On behalf of Sikich, I'd like to thank the mayor and the board of trustees for inviting us to present the report resulting from your audit for your year ended April 30th, 2020, which resulted in the comprehensive annual financial report. Just as a brief refresher, the comprehensive annual financial report is 3 sections: introductory, financial, and statistical. The financial section has everything required from a statutory standpoint for an audit. What makes it a comprehensive annual financial report is the introductory and statistical section. Just a few highlights for you. In the financial section, the first page there is on Sikich letterhead. This is where we give our opinion on the financial statements. And in order for us to give an opinion on the financial statements, we're required to follow 2 sets of standards. One set of standards are the auditing standards, the procedures that we need to perform when we're conducting our audit, and those come from the AICPA, the American Institute for Certified Public Accountants. The second set of standards comes from GASB, the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, and GASB sets the rules for financial statement presentation for local governments such as the village. Once we follow those 2 sets of standards, we can issue an opinion on the financial statements. We're pleased to present an unmodified or clean opinion, and what that means is that the financial statements are presented fairly in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, free of material misstatement. And this is the highest level of opinion that you can receive on your financial statements. But GASB makes it interesting every year, and you'll notice on page 2, in the middle of that page, there's a discussion about 2 new GASB standards that were implemented. One did result in an additional liability being reported on the village's financial statement. One, I would call it GASB liability, essentially a cost to close any wells that the village has, albeit even if you're not planning to close the wells, GASB has determined that's a liability. And then no change to the way the police pension funds reported, just some language changes in the notes, and that's what GASB 84 on fiduciary activities related to. Then I also bring your attention on the last paragraph on page 3. So the last page of the opinion talks about reference to another report on government auditing standards. So while the village wasn't required to have a single audit because you didn't expend more than $750,000 in federal funds, anytime you expend more than $500,000 in state and federal funds, a couple of years ago, the state adopted a law that was called the Governmental Accounting and Transparency Act. And so there's additional reporting to this GATA center, if you will. And in addition to that, it requires us to perform some additional work and basically given another opinion of what's called an opinion on government auditing standards. So your compliance over internal controls over financial reporting, and then also your compliance with laws and regulations that could have a material impact on your financial statements was in that opinion, and those were both unmodified opinions as well. And you find that if you need to see those are on pages 129 and 130. The last opinion we gave in your financial statements is on page 131. It relates to your TIF, the Tax Increment Financing District, and that was also an unmodified opinion on your compliance with the TIF laws and regulations and the use of those dollars. A couple other highlights in the financial statements. Just past the independent auditor's report is the management discussion and analysis. This is the executive summary of the report. If you don't have a chance to read the whole CAFR, I would encourage you to read the MD&A. Your own staff prepare this. It's required by GASB. It's the one place in the financials that you can give an explanation of your own financial statements and what happened in FY20 versus FY19. It's very well done. This document, in my opinion, along with your annual budget document, best 2 documents that you can send constituents to if they're looking for information about the financial position of the village. Just one financial highlight, and then I'll show you some pension information, and then open it up for questions. On page 11, you'll see the income statement or operating statement for your general corporate fund. The fund balance did go up by $2,385,000, and the end of the year fund balance was $17,948,000, which was in compliance with your fund reserve policy, where you're trying to keep 3 to 6 months of reserves in your general corporate fund. The pension fund information that I would like to close with, page 63. And just as a refresher, your non-sworn officers, full-time employees participate in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, and then your sworn officers are in the separate police pension fund. Page 63 shows the contributions that you made, the village made to IMRF during the year versus what the actuary said you should contribute. As you know, it's a statutory provision that you put in each and every month. The amount that the actuaries at IMRF determine should be deposited with IMRF, and that budgetary impact was $932,000 for the fiscal year, and you're putting in exactly what's required. Page 64, the village's participation in IMRF and the library are included in one. We separate those out so you know what the village's share versus the library's estimated share is. And the village's share in IMRF was, in the lower right-hand corner, was 89.5% funded. That is, the assets that were set aside are 89.5% of the liability calculated by the actuary. So very well-funded plan, up from 81% in the prior year. And that is mainly due to the increase in the markets through December 31st, 2019, which is the year end for IMRF. Information for the police pension plan follows on page 65 and 66. You can see that you've been putting in exactly what the actuary recommends for each of the last 10 fiscal years, $2.6 million being the amount for fiscal year 2020. And then financial results through April 30th, 2020 for the police pension plan showed on a market value basis that the funded percentage went up from 62.0% to 62.6% during the fiscal year. Those are what I'd consider to be the highlights of the comprehensive annual financial report. Just to summarize, the audit went smoothly. We received all the information that we needed on a timely basis. 2020 obviously has been a very unique year. It also converted our business to a remote environment. So doing an audit in a remote environment is definitely interesting, but I'm happy to report to you that your staff adapted very well to that remote environment. Very professional as always, and easy to work with. And we're hoping to hopefully be back in person next year. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions from trustees? You see what happens when you make and you do such a good job. I want to thank the staff, and I want to thank Sikich for doing such a good job. We appreciate it. Very important, the job that you do for us, so we can keep this, especially the pensions, to keep those pensions where they should be. Once you let that slip and you let it get away from you, you'll never catch back up again. There's been some times where we had to put more than what we wanted, but that's what we do. So I want to thank you again for your job. I can't imagine this year what you're going through meeting with people. I can't even see with the stand-up glasses and, you know.
Hey, that's why I just took mine off. But thank you very much for the kind words, and we definitely enjoy working with the village.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
The next is a proclamation designating November 28, 2020 as Small Business Saturday. Before I ask, in fact, he asked me if he could read it, was Trustee McCarthy. I had talked to Trustee Swarzy earlier. He was going to read that because he always ends his report of officers with Shop Carol Stream, Shop Carol Stream. He called me late, just before the meeting, and he's in line trying to vote. So he said he don't know how many people are in front of him, but he didn't think he was going to make it, but he's going to try. So apparently he didn't make it. So good luck. I know he's running for office for another seat in the county. So tonight. We're going to have trustee McCarthy is going to read that.
Proclamation designating November 28th, 2020 as Small Business Saturday. Whereas the Village of Carroll Stream celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our community. And whereas small businesses employ 47.3% of employees in the private sector in the United States, 62% of U.S. small businesses reported that they need consumer spending to return to pre-COVID levels by the end of 2020 in order to stay in business. 65% of U.S. small business owners said it would be most helpful to have their regulars return and making purchases again, and 3/4 of the U.S. consumers are currently looking for ways to shop small and support their community. And whereas 96% of consumers who shopped on Small Business Saturday agree that shopping at small, independently owned businesses supports their commitment to making purchases that have a positive social, economic, and environmental impact, and 97% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday agree that small businesses are essential to the community. And whereas 95% of consumers who shopped on Small Business Saturday reported their day makes them want to, the day wants them to shop or eat at small, independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas the Village of Carroll Stream supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. And whereas public and private organizations across the country have endorsed this the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. And now therefore be it proclaimed that Mayor Frank Savarino Sr. and the Board of Trustees of Carroll Stream, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, do hereby designate November 28th, 2020 as Small Business Saturday in Carroll Stream, and encourages residents to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Proclaim the second day of November 2020.
Thank you, trustee McCarthy. Do we have anybody from the audience that filled out the paperwork to speak tonight? Nobody? Somebody want to get up and speak? No? Oh, you? Oh, it's on the agenda. Okay. Did you want to talk about it? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't get used to doing that. We do have somebody that called in and sent in a text message, so go ahead, read it.
Village Board meeting, Wayne Kulik, flying of American flags at half-mast. It's been noticed that the American flags are continually being flown at half-mast on village properties. Although we are aware that a statement by Governor Pritzker on April 17th requested that Illinois state facilities lower their flags to half-staff in remembrance of all who have perished from COVID-19 in the land of Lincoln. There is some doubt that the governor's proclamations in this regard are designed to last forever. More importantly, we see no reason for this to continue in virtual perpetuity, given the length of time this virus has been and is likely to be with us. Veterans Day is approaching on Wednesday, November 11th. I encourage the village board to return the American flag to full mast on all village properties in honor of this day and reserve its lowering for any future official losses in our country or state. Thank you.
Is that the only one we have?
Yes, that is the only electronic public comment we have received.
Thank you. Tia? Now, is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Zalek. Tia, call a roll.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Tia, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Board and commission reports. Police Pension Fund Annual Compliance Report for receipt by the village board.
Received.
Number 2, Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals, 20-0026, Jet Foods Carroll Stream LLC-998 West Army Trail Road, special use permit for a restaurant with a bar area. Recommend approval with conditions 5-0.
Yes.
Yes.
H, staff reports and recommendations. 1, receipt of the comprehensive annual financial report and auditor's communication for the year ended April 30th, 2020.
Received.
Received.
Number 2, acceptance of the Water Reclamation Center annual report and financial reconciliation for period ending April 30th, 2020.
Received.
Received.
Number 3, approving change order number 1 and final payment to Denler, Inc. in the amount of $53,082.53 for the 2020 crack fill project.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 4, approving change order number 1 and final payment to Brothers Asphalt Paving, Inc. in the amount of $36,770 for the 2020 pavement patching project.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, motion approving an agreement with Quest CDN for online procurement services.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordinances. Ordinance approving a special use permit for a restaurant with a bar area. Jet Foods, Carroll Stream, LLC, 998 West Army Trail Road.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-11-36. Number 2, ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses from 13 to 14 for Jet Foods, Carroll Stream, LLC, 998 Army Trail Road.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-1137. Number 3, ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses from 18 to 19 for Jet Foods, Carroll Stream, LLC, 998 Army Trail Road.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-1138. Number 4, ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by decreasing and increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses by 1 to reflect change of ownership from MBC Liquor and Tobacco, Inc. to Ashutosh LLC, doing business as NBC Liquor and Tobacco, 180 through 182 North Gary Avenue.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-11-39. Number 5, ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class N liquor licenses from 0 to 1, American Legion Post 76, 570 South Gary Avenue.
Yes.
Yes.
Resolutions. A resolution to record the determination of the corporate authorities of the Village of Carroll Stream of the amounts of money estimated to be necessary to be raised by taxation on taxable property for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2020 and ending April 30th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
I may need to finish this second segment. This action is required by the Illinois Truth in Taxation Act 35 ILCS 200/18-60 and must be completed no sooner than 20 days prior to adoption of the final 2020 property tax levy. The village is requesting a tax levy totaling $3.8 million, and the library is requesting a tax levy totaling $3,674,461 for 2020. The combined total tax levy represents a decrease of 1% over taxes extended in 2019. Final adoption of the tax levy is scheduled for the village board meeting of December 7th, 2020.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be resolution number 3162. Number 2, resolution amending resolution number 3133, adopting the 2020 through 2021 employee pay plan, funding of a merit increase of 2% retroactive to May 1, 2020 for all eligible employees currently employed by the village.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3163. Number 3, resolution declaring designated poles and fixtures for site lighting from the WRC surplus and authorize their disposal via public auction.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3164. New business. Approval of a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond for the Carroll Stream Chamber of Commerce Holiday Social to be held on November 12th, 2020.
Yes.
Payment of bills. Number 1, regular bills, October 20th, 2020 through November 2nd, 2020.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2, addendum warrants, October 20th, 2020 through November 2nd, 2020.
Yes.
Yes. Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee LaRocca, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Tia, call the roll, please.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second. Moved by trustee Giesers, seconded by trustee Zalek. Tia, call the roll.
Trustee Zalek.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Let me start with trustee LaRocca.
Again? You never do anything different, but that's okay. I like going first.
I had to look over to make sure you were here. I'm looking at the seat was empty over here.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be down there. Well, I want to congratulate all the participants who, for the holiday, the Halloween contest, and congratulations to all of the winners. Thank you for participating. As far as Halloween went, I thought it went well. The kids seemed to be having a good time, and I think they needed it. Maybe some of them were getting cabin fever, but they all seemed to be having fun, and everyone was wearing a mask, including the adults that were walking around with them. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Carroll Stream, for being safe. Tomorrow's a big day, and this is the last day you're going to get to hear me talk about the election. And to remind you to get out and vote if you have not already. You should know everything about the candidates. It's out there to know, and know everybody's platform. But make sure, I'm sorry that trustee Schwarzy isn't here. I'm sure the lines are long. But I'm quite certain that there will be a higher percentage of registered voters voting this year as opposed to the last election. That was 9.7% in Carroll Stream and 14.7% in DuPage County, that's very poor, but I'm sure we're going to exceed that by far. So please get out and vote if you have not already. Still very difficult to, after all the years of not having a property tax, to approve the property tax. But I thought when we approved the property tax last year, the one thing that personally didn't want to do is have to come back and increase the tax. And we didn't have to do that. And thank you for the staff for being fiscally responsible with our residents' taxes. You always do a good job, and I commend you for doing that. Thank you very much. Let's see, what else? A message to my wife. She's doing well with her repaired wrist. Although the plate in her wrist has to stay in another month because the bones aren't healing as fast as they thought they would. But she's coming along well. And I want to say a big thanks to my son-in-law who will be discharged from the Navy tomorrow, and they're moving back. And so I'm excited. He's looking for a job, and a few years, well, it was last year, I asked my daughter, what does he want to do for a living? And she said, well, actually, he wants to do what you do. It surprised me. So He wants to work as a public servant, and I wish him well with that. He's been applying all over the place. But I'm just excited they're going to come back. She's bringing one grandson back, and she has one in the oven. My wife's daughter has a grandchild, or give us a grandchild, and she also has one in the oven. So before you know it, we're going to have 4 grandchildren. Congratulations to them. And Jake Handathon, my son-in-law, thank you for your service, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few days. And that's my report.
Thank you, Trustee LaRocca. You know, it's always nice to, and I hate to say this, but I don't see you on Facebook that much anymore, as I'm not on Facebook that much either. It's always nice to hear about the families. We all kind of like share our families and stuff we're doing. And this year, we haven't done a lot of what we usually do. So, but thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Trustee Gieser.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all who participated in the Halloween holiday decorating contest. Thank you to the winners who we honored earlier tonight. And as I mentioned before, we will be doing the December holiday, Christmas and Hanukkah decorations. So think about your decorations, what you'd like to do. We'll be announcing the dates coming up on the village's Facebook page. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you all the info and all the deadlines, and hopefully we'll get a great turnout for that as well. Earlier at the meeting tonight, we declared November 28th as Small Business Saturday, and it just seems that with everything going on in the world, where as a community, as a board, as a nation, we've been more, we recognize the importance of those small and the local businesses in our own personal lives and in the lives of our communities. So I think it's terrific that we're doing the 28th, and as we've done many, many years, I think pretty much as long as I've been on the board, Matt.
I think so.
I think we've done that, but I think we really need to, as individuals, need to remember our small businesses and try to make every day Small Business and Local Business Day. So do all you can to help the mom and pop businesses in the communities. Nothing wrong with the big boxes and the other corporate stores. We love having them in our community as well. But we want to give special notice and special attention to the small businesses. So thank you for all you do for our community. We had a note from a resident who talked about at half-staff. Can Bob or Joe, can you explain why and when and why we do have the flags at half-staff?
Sure. We receive notice from the governor's office whenever he declares that the flag should be flown at half-staff. Generally, it's when a service person in the military dies or somebody in the police or fire services passes away. And that's the only reason why we lower the flag at half-staff, or when the President of the United States orders it lowered. We can't just lower it for any old reason. So right now the flags are lowered to half-staff because the governor ordered that they be lowered during COVID, until we get out of COVID. And he hasn't ordered us to raise them, so.
Okay, so we're following the governor's orders.
Following the governor's orders.
Thank you very much. And don't forget, as Trustee LaRocca said, tomorrow's a big day. If you haven't voted already, get your bottoms out there and vote tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. Everyone, remember, we're all got to be friends in a community on Wednesday. So remember that. That's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gieser. Trustee Zalik.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would also like to congratulate the Halloween decorating contest winners and all the residents that put an effort forward to decorate and make our village festive. I also want to recognize the efforts of our auditing firm, Sikich, and the help that our staff has given them for the comprehensive annual financial report. I hope, like Trustee Gieser said, that we're not limiting our small business visits to just November 28th, but a whole lot more often. I also know how passionate our residents are from past meetings and workshops. So when I read today in the October 28th edition of the Examiner that District 87 is proposing a tax levy that represents a 4.4 increase over the total 2019 capped increase. I thought it was important to let them know that they are holding a public hearing on November 9th, next Monday, and they can have their voices heard, whether it's pro or against the 4.4 increase. And finally, like everybody, I'm glad election day is tomorrow, so people can have their voices heard. But more importantly, I kind of miss regular commercials on TV. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a commercial for food or anything else other than that or that. So, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalick. Trustee McCarthy.
Thank you. Again, congratulations to everybody who won in the decorating contest, and great job from everybody who decorated, whether you were part of the contest or not. It was fun driving around Carroll Stream and seeing so many. It seems like quite a few more this year were really decorated than in previous years, so it was kind of fun to drive around and watch. Tia and Rick, nice job on setting up the decorating contest and administering it. I know it takes a little extra work, so everybody seems happy to play a part in it, so thank you very much. Vote. I don't care who you vote for. Vote for what is most important to you. But more importantly than anything is to get out and vote. That's how our voices are heard, as Trustee Zalick said. Everybody has an opinion right now, and deeper and deeper rooted in their opinions. Well, tomorrow's, if you have not already voted, tomorrow's the day to put some legs on that opinion. So please get out and vote. Two things. We're unable to collect candy and make Christmas stockings this year for Christmas sharing due to COVID and a change in how the process is going to work. Hopefully it's just this year and we can get back to it next year. We are taking up a collection though. I've got it on Facebook. We're actually going to make a donation to the food pantry, who is supplying a week's worth of groceries to each registered family. I have quite a few people who will contact me about donations, so I let them know to send it through me and we'll do one big donation. My email for that is mccarth1@aol.com, MCCARTH, just the number 1@aol.com if you're interested. And last but not least, since Greg's not here, I read a proclamation about small businesses. Well, let's make sure to take care of and shop local, shop Carroll Stream, shop those small businesses, the ones who help support our baseball, softball, Girl Scouts, and parades and bags tournaments and everything else. They're the ones who put their money where their mouth is. So especially this year, it's our turn to return that favor. And with that, it's the end of my report. Shop Carroll Stream.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Tia, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just one quick note. If you haven't already, please like and follow our Facebook and Twitter accounts. Later this month, we'll be releasing a video State of the Village, a little bit different format than we've done in previous years. And this is an opportunity for our department heads and some of our other public servants to just kind of give you a quick breakdown of some of the things we've done over the past year and some of the services that are available to you.
Thank you. I know how much work you put in that, and I really appreciate it. I was going to cover that. I'm going to cover some of it, so thank you. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one item following up on a comment that Trustee LaRocca made. There was an item on the agenda tonight that dealt with the determination of the tax levy. I think it's important for everyone to note that the village is not going to be required to conduct a public hearing on the tax levy this year because the tax levy is going down by 1%. And so there is no requirement of a public hearing. However, it will be as noted on the agenda for December 7th. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Thank you.
Mr. Meller, our village manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As everybody knows, it was very windy yesterday. Blew down a lot of leaves. So just a reminder that free leaf pickup is the week of Thanksgiving. I believe it's the week of the 23rd this year, November 23rd. You can still buy stickers for your leaves, put them in a craft paper bag or a 32-gallon container, and Flood Brothers will pick those up for you. And then my final note is, I think everybody knows that Carroll Stream is a very charitable community, a lot of volunteers. Every year we have a Christmas sharing program. Due to COVID, this year it will be a drive-by Christmas sharing. And I believe that'll be at the town center. The information is on our website in order to ensure the safety of the volunteers and people receiving the gifts and food donations. It'll be a drive-through, so guests must pre-register to participate. Registration begins November 16th and runs through December 4th. Registration hours are from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. And that'll be in our social services division, which is on the second floor of this building. And we will not be collecting food donations this year. So if people are interested in donating presents for children from 0 to 12 years old, you can designate them by male or female and bring the gifts to social services, and they will be distributed to those needy individuals in our community. And that's all I have. Unwrapped, yeah, because they wrap them.
Well, they usually wrap them here.
They do, yeah.
So were they requesting for wrapped gifts this year, marked with the age on them, or not?
I don't believe so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's, right.
Because I know the crew usually comes in, get a lot of volunteers
do.
come in and wrap everything.
And we're still looking for Santa's helpers, so if you want to volunteer, you can call. We have a phone number, 630-871-6280.
Thank you, trustee. Thank you, Mr. Miller.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
If I may, I forgot one item.
Oh, no, go right ahead.
I mean, we received an annual report from the engineering firm that runs our water reclamation facility. And after spending 46 years in that industry, I'd feel terrible if I already feel terrible if I forgot, but I just wanted to say, I look at the report every year, and not a year goes by that I'm not impressed with what they do. They got a great staff, and they do a great job running our wastewater facility. And I just wanted to make mention of that and say thank you, Jacobs Engineering, for operating our facility to the best of your ability. Thank you.
You had me worried when you said at the beginning that your son-in-law wanted to do what you're doing, and I'm thinking, you're retired. He's not going to retire.
I want to do that too.
Well, maybe he wants to do that, but
And I'm moving in with you. That would be the next thing, so. But he wants to do what you did, so you're a good role model. I know you for a long time. I'm not surprised that he would like to do what you do, and your father was a legend also, so, thank you. I want to thank everybody for the Halloween decorations. I mean, really, you know, we've canceled everything, no 4th of July, no fireworks, nothing, no Santa Claus. The Santa Claus with the Christmas sharing with the kids get to see Santa Claus and the volunteers that come and what we do. And it breaks my heart because this has been a year that I think the young people suffered probably more than anybody. The schools, they've lost their friends. They can't hang out with them. No activities at schools, nothing after school. I won't say they're stuck home with their parents, but they're stuck home with their parents, and the parents were stuck home with them, being a lot of them were working from the house. All at once, a regular workday becomes you're in the house and the kid's in the house, and sometimes it's not easy to work under those conditions. So it's bad. So thank you for decorating. I'm glad we did Halloween. The extended hours weren't that bad. We had a bunch of kids that came on Saturday. Some came on Friday. I think they wanted to get a jump on the bigger bars. But that was okay. We didn't turn anybody away, but Saturday was a good day. I want to thank the staff because when this COVID hit, they immediately got together and took over $2 million out of the budget. Just whacked it right out. $2 million, correct? Was just a little over $2 million? There was a lot of things that were taken out that were necessary. There was some road work in there. There was some painting, one of the towers was in there that hold all the water. But they did that and took that $2,100,000 right out. We were lucky enough to get monies through the CARES Act, so we're able to put those back in this budget before we get to the next budget to be able to take that. The quality of life for the people of Carroll Stream for us is very important. When you start taking things out of your budget that we all thought were important to be in there, I call that kicking the can down the road. And if we haven't learned anything from what we see in the state of Illinois, in Springfield, kicking the can down the road don't work. If you put it in, you got to spend it, you got to do it, and you got to do it the right way. So I want to thank the staff for going through that, and again, Sikich for going through and making sure all the numbers are right. None of us are accountants. We all do what we do, but it's nice to have somebody from the outside come in and sit with our staff and put all them numbers together. So again, thank you. The State of the Village, I got to see it today. I don't know where Tia keeps coming up with these ideas, but I'm really impressed. When we sat down and talked about how we were going to do this, I started it off, I probably got 2 minutes. Is that what you gave me, 2 minutes? 2 minutes. That's all I get. If we did it at the Holiday Inn or we did it someplace, I'd be talking for 2 hours, and I love taking questions. She said, that's all you're going to get. Okay, I got it. Each department head got to actually go out into the field or sit at their office, the chief of police, the public works director. Well, we had somebody else, he didn't want to do it, I guess, but that's okay. He was a good representative. I mean, everybody, community development, out in the field, Bill Cleveland, I mean, the things that they did, and I was getting excited watching it because that's really what we are. This is what we do. I get up there and talk and do all the talking, but you're going to do all the work. So now we got to see stuff about the bike path and buildings that are going to be tore down. That was a great idea. I'm not going to tell you where, but you're going to see the film when it comes out. I tried to get her to release it quick, but she wouldn't do it. So I think we're going to wait, until like the 15th or 17th or whatever?
Yes, the plan is to give a little more time after the election, get a couple other key points out in some of our other projects, and release that about middle of the month.
So I got to open and I got to close, I think, about maybe, you give me 30 seconds to close? So it was okay. But it isn't about me, and it's not about us. It's about a team of all of us working together. And this really is like coaching and then the team hitting the ball and playing in the field. And that was really this is different than what we've done. I think I like this better than having a luncheon with the business people because everybody's going to get to see some of the stuff that's going on, and it'll be on the website for them to look at it, which is very good. Thank you, Tia, for a great idea. I want to cover the election a little bit different than we've covered it here. I mean, this is a very rough time for a lot of people. If you drive around town, you're going to see signs for this person and for that person. You see neighbor against neighbor. You see a sign here. That sign's gone the next day. Another sign over here, that's gone. I've never, ever, in 24 years that I've been elected, seen the hate and disgust that I've seen through this whole election. I'm hoping in my heart, knowing this town, and I lived here for 44 years, we've been here, that the people of Carroll Stream, when Wednesday morning comes, no matter who won that election, we put that in the rearview mirror and we support the next president of this country. That is what we have to do. It may not be what we want to do, it may not be what we like to do, but it is what's going to have to be done. I remember like it was yesterday when Barack Obama won, and we stopped everything, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, doesn't matter who he is, it doesn't matter where he came from. He's our president. We have an opportunity, we back him, and he is our president, and we can't forget that. And the people of Carroll Stream did that. Just was business as usual. I would really love to see that happen again this time. There's a lot of people that like one guy and a lot of people like the other guy, and we're nonpartisan. We run nonpartisan. In 6 runs for office, I think I had one woman ask me, you Democrat or Republican? I'm whatever the people are that live in my town. We're all the same way. There's Democrats up here and Republicans, but when it comes to what we do, it's for the people that were put us in here to do it. And we could never forget that. And I'm just hoping that the people of Carroll Stream don't let us down, don't get aggravated, don't get disgusted, don't start arguing with each other, because it's very important that we live together. As I call it, and I've been criticized for it, I call it Mayberry, because to me, we're a community of faith-based, middle-class, blue-collar people that seem to get along, and that's why I live in this town, and why I've stayed here for so long, and raised my family here, like a lot of us have. Some of them up here actually went to school here. Grammar school, was born here, high school, college, and still here. And that's important. Our town is important to us. I'm looking at what they're doing in some places, boarding up windows and closing stores down and doing. I hope that never happens in Carroll Stream. I mean, because we're a group of people that, I don't know what it is. I can go to church in a pair of jeans and a T-shirt and they accept me as the mayor. I don't know if I could live someplace else and do that, but it's about the people. And when we forget that, why we're here and what our job is, then there's something wrong with that. So we have an opportunity here to stand tall, again, as usual, in this town. And I just hope to God that everybody does that and we make it a nice, peaceful transition, no matter who it is and what happens. We got a lot at stake here. Please do the right thing. So with that, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesser.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.